Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. That's right. It's already Monday and you know what time it is. It's time to get motivated with me, your girl Shay Samuels. As always, I just want to first thank you guys because you could be doing anything in this world and you have chosen to spend the next 15 minutes right here with me just getting motivated. It says how important getting motivated and just being inspired and encouraged at the start of your week, how important it is to you. And remember, one brings one. So as you learn what you're learning today during this practical message, you can teach someone else or just by your actions, show someone else how to grow. So what are we talking about today? I just said it. Growth, personal growth. You know, I started this message last week and kind of went into it this Sunday, had an opportunity to speak a message on it. Shout out to Apostle Teresa and Apostle Willie, who allowed me to speak about growth on their platform this past weekend. It is amazing opportunities right now for us all to personally just to develop personally. And so if we take it lightly, we're just going to miss the opportunity to grow. So I'm going to talk about it today. You guys know I give a practical principle. Everything that we do every single day, I bring it into a message and I get you guys thinking about it from that perspective. How many times have I heard someone say, you know, I can't ride on the Atlanta plane train the same after hearing your message, or if you're living in the Douglas, Georgia area, that you can't pass the train station anymore without thinking about a message. You know, this is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to ring in your head like a good song. So when you see these practical principles come to play, you know how to operate spiritually. That's exactly what this is. You know how to operate spiritually. So let's get into this message, personal development. Do you know, first of all, that personal development is actually a conscious decision that you make? Right? I have completed a 7-day journal, and in that journal, I talk about the personal development goals that we set for our New Year's resolutions. Right? Someone may set a goal to become a fitness trainer, or to be trained, fit. Let me say that again. You have set a goal to actually be trained to be better fit. Why can't I get that out? You have personally trained yourself to get better with your fitness goals. Let's just say that. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say, but you have decided that at the start of this year, you're going to be more fit. There you go. You're going to go to work out. You're going to get a personal trainer. You're going to go 5 days out of the week. And then you do that for 2 weeks and you are deflated. What about the person who says, I'm going to save more money this year? I'm actually going to do better with my finances. And at the start of the year, it's going to start with my income tax money. And then what happens? You go to the store and you see everything, or you remember everything you need, and you start buying out. And by the month of March, you have nothing else left. The reality of it is we all set a goal for ourselves. That is what we would call personal development. With personal development comes discipline, and some people miss that part. We miss the part of discipline. If I decide I want to eat better, that is a personal development for me. I want to eat better because I want to better my overall condition of my body. I want to do better with making sure that I'm treating my body as a temple. That is a conscious decision for me to do. However, the way our world is set up, when I get from point A to go to point B, I see a McDonald's, I see a Burger King, I see a Zaxby's, I see O'Charlie's, I see Taco Bell. I see all of these different restaurants that's going to cause me to say, you know what, it's easier for me to just stop. Oh my God, this just dropped in my spirit. Personal development requires preparation, just as you preparing for that perfect meal. You got to chop up the vegetables. You got to make sure the fruit's right. You got to prepare 2 days or 3 days in advance, because guess what? If you don't, you will backslide. You will slide right back into the thing that you were trying to come out of. Personal development. Let me read this to you. Isaiah 43:18-19 is a scripture I shared this past weekend, and it says, forget the former things. Do not dwell in the past. It says, see, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? And then, just like me, because I am a word person, I went into the Message version, and here's what the Message version said. Boom. The Message version says, forget about what happened. Don't get caught up in going over old history. And then it says, be alert, be present. I am doing something brand new and it's bursting out. And so that's where I began to shout this past weekend, because when God is doing something brand new in us, he says it's bursting out. God says it's bursting out. And so there's something brand new bursting out of you. Amen. You just have to let it happen. All right. So keep in mind, this is for the believer and the non-believer, because everyone's trying to personally develop. Let me give you my story as I always do. My mom and I were talking a few weeks ago, and we were talking about personal development, but not in this way. But when she said it, she dropped a nugget on me that became a message. Here's your practical principle. Now, you have to stay to the end, because the challenge is at the end, and I believe that the challenge will help to better you this week. And remember, one brings one. You'll be able to better someone else. So my mom dropped this nugget on me, and she didn't realize that it was going to become today's Monday motivational moment. She said, my sisters and I, we used to share clothes, what we would call hand-me-down. She said it started with the older sister and it would trickle down to the younger sister. And she said, depending on what the clothes were, she said everybody was excited to have those clothes. What I love about that is my aunts are stylish. I don't care what nobody says. If you guys have seen my aunts, you've seen my mom, they are stylish. And so I consider it an honor that someone would get the older person's clothes and it would trickle down to the younger person. But my mom dropped this nugget. She said, when I got old enough to buy my own clothes, I bought my own clothes. And what she recognized is that her style was a little bit different. So she ended up buying clothes that now would go to the younger sister, and the younger sister would now develop the trend of my mom. Now, my mom used to wear these shirts that had an L, like Laverne and Shirley, because her name is Lisa. So I always thought the L stood for Lisa until I got older and started seeing Laverne and Shirley. But can you imagine Vanessa wearing an L on her shirt? Because it stands for Lisa. But there's also personalities that go with our styles. Like, I'm a little quirky, trendy type of person. So my shoes, people always laugh at the shoes, but they love them because they always have something different about them. I'm not the typical sneaker girl. So the shoes always have a taste of my personality. My clothes always have an old flair, but I know how to modernize it up. So anyway, my mom said that when she started to buy her own clothes, she found her personality. Now let's go back to the oldest sister of them all. Isaiah says, forget about what happened. Don't get caught up in the former things. Don't worry about the former things, because I'm bringing something brand new. For the aunt who was the oldest, kind of setting the trend, do you realize that when she was handing those clothes down, she was getting rid of the old? She can't worry about those things because her growth spurt caused her to grow out of those things. Growth spurts will cause you to grow out of that thing. So she's not worried about that. What does she know? That a new thing is coming. She realizes a new thing is coming. So who's more excited? The person that's getting the clothes from her, or the one who's going to be getting a brand new thing? Y'all, that's enough for y'all to shout right there, because Isaiah 43 said it. I am creating a new thing. I am creating a new thing. Don't you see it? Don't you see it? It is bursting out. So my aunt, the older one, got a chance possibly to go to the stores with my grandparents to pick her own clothes out. Maybe she had her sisters in mind, like, okay, Sandy's going to get these a little bit later on, or Vanessa's going to get this, so let me get something that's a little bit more universal. But they all had their own style. Now, personal growth is going to cause you to let some things go. You have to be okay with that, because something new is coming. Now, in the example that I used yesterday, I used my granddaughter, because I was sitting there looking at her, and we're potty training her. And I was sitting there looking. 1 Corinthians says that when I was a child, I spoke as a child. There are some things that we just won't let go because we are so familiar with these things. Taking a pacifier away from my granddaughter it's been a mess. And not just for her, but for all of us. Why? Because it's uncomfortable for her and it's inconvenient for us at times. Those nights that we're trying to get some sleep, better believe that we want to just throw that pacifier to her because we need some sleep. And she is so comfortable with the fact that she has it that she just goes to sleep. But how are we helping her grow when we give her the former thing? And I started thinking about 1 Corinthians 13, that when I was a child, I spoke as a child. I started thinking about that. You know, as a child, we naturally grow, which is personal development, every single day. It is a must that our bodies designed itself or enough for us to grow into who we are today. And I mean physical being. Even if you're not ready, body parts are going to grow. Let's just be real about it. Body parts are going to grow. Your voice is going to change. Your hair is going to change. Your hands are going to get bigger. There are things that are going to grow. Point blank, period. That was grown people talk. But it is, there are things that are going to naturally grow. Does that mean that you grow personally? No. It just means that your body's doing what it's designed to do. So back to my granddaughter. My granddaughter was sitting on the potty, and then I got this nugget dropped. That she is designed to grow. And when we give her the former thing, like the pacifier or the bottle, we are not personally allowing her to grow into what she is designed to grow into. So we have to be diligent with helping her personally grow. It is amazing to me that when we start personally growing, how uncomfortable things become. And guess what? We definitely put ourselves in a position to where we fail ourselves. I had to look at it that way. I was telling my granddaughter, I said, she's naturally designed to go from a pamper to the potty and then to a bigger potty. She's naturally designed to go from a bottle to a cup. And at some point, that pacifier is going to have to come out. But if because we are inconvenienced and we give it back to her, we're causing her to be stifled and to not grow. That's where a great coach comes in. And so personal development is going to require some discipline on all of our parts. There are people who are around you who are waiting for you to grow. There are people around you waiting for you to grow. Do you know that? There are people around you who are waiting for you to grow. They're actually sitting at home saying, oh my God, they don't get over this thing because we need them. Personal development will cause you to let some things go. Think about a growth spurt. I just talked to you about my aunts. I said that my aunts definitely were stylish people. That doesn't mean that they want to have hand-me-downs. And each person grew into their own personality. They grew into their own trend. And the ones who were passing it down now are setting a trend for the next person once they got old enough to do it, though. So it is a blessing for you to know that when you are personally developed, that you are helping someone else grow. You are setting a standard for other people, the people who are around you. And that's what this message is all about. I'm going to end this message with how to personally develop, because some people might be saying, I don't have the time for all of this. I left another message saying this, that I used to do personal development in my car. There were things I wanted to learn. There were things I wanted to grow from. Road rage was one of them. And how much better for me to get over road rage but to be sitting in 5 o'clock hour traffic in Atlanta, Georgia. But guess what I started to do? I started to put tapes or CDs in my car that would help me learn different languages, that would help me to develop educationally, that would help me because there's so much technology out there and there's so many different hubs that you can get this bit of information from. But I used my car as my school. And I started to educate myself. And I would come out of that traffic jam much smarter, more encouraged, brighter, more knowledgeable. And I had more in my hands as a resource. And so if you don't have the time to personally develop yourself by going to school or doing something that's going to require you to get out the car because of my schedule. There's so many excuses that we have to not personally develop ourselves. But let me encourage you, if you're the person in the car, consider the amount of hours that you're in that car. And when you're in that car, are you thinking about what you can do to personally change? Now, if you're using that time to sit on the phone and gossip with other people, you are not using your time wisely. If you're using that time to just listen to music because you love music, you're not using the time wisely. There's so many opportunities for you to learn right in that car. The amount of time it would take you to drive from point A to point B guarantee you that you will definitely learn something different. So what's your challenge? In this short period of time, your challenge is to personally grow. In this season, it's time for you to grow up and grow out. Somebody is waiting for you. Listen, guys, I'm your girl, Shay Samuels, and I appreciate you guys taking the time out to listen to this message today. Are you ready to personally grow? Because I am. I have personally grown over the last few months, and I'm challenging you all to do the same thing. I'm your girl, Shay Samuels, and you've just been motivated. Mwah.